1 year ago, the illusion of modern Jewish safety was shattered. On the morning of October 7th, we learned just how vulnerable Israel still was to attack, as over 1,200 of our loved ones were taken from us for the crime of being Jewish. And while attention has rightly been paid to the hundreds of hostages who were kidnapped into Gaza that day, with many of their names and faces now known to us in the diaspora, it's essential that we remember not only the hostages, but those who were murdered 1 year ago today as well, and those who have fallen in battle since. Every one of those individuals had a story, a family, and as our tradition teaches, was a universe unto themselves. In the year that's followed, one can't help but question, what are we as Jews to do? Anti-Semitism has skyrocketed in the United States and around the world this past year, coming from both the left and the right. Jewish students on some of our country's most prestigious campuses require peer escorts to go to class. In Nashville alone, we've had 4 different anti-Semitic hate groups pay our city a visit this past year. At the same time, Israel is being attacked on multiple fronts. She's being falsely accused of genocide. I shudder at the word. The media has painted an incredibly skewed picture. Tens of thousands of Israelis remain displaced in their own country, unable to return home due to constant rocket fire from the enemies. Many insist that Israel should stand down, rather than demanding that Hamas release the remaining hostages and lay down their arms. And these folks even... now even advocating withholding arms from Israel as it fights on 7 fronts Islamic fundamentalist terror emanating from Iran and its proxies that aims to destroy the Jewish state and ultimately the West. For many, it feels unsafe to be a Jew in the diaspora. And even with remarkable recent military achievements, for many it feels unsafe to be a Jew in Israel. Now, upon reflecting, for the overwhelming majority of Jewish history, this was the core feeling our ancestors experienced. This sense of constant discomfort bordering on existential fear. And yet, despite this, those who came before us still managed to celebrate life, to mark our holidays joyously, to continue to pass our traditions l'dor v'dor from generation to generation, to study Torah and fulfill mitzvot, to remain proud Jews. And they did this largely without the support of non-Jewish allies and friends, a luxury we have that they did not. Many folks in the room tonight have made it clear to us they love us this past year and have our backs. Thank you for being here and for sharing your I've also had to remind myself that we cannot take Israel for granted, that she is still a security blanket for the Jewish people, that many of our extended family trees would look quite different had Israel been established sooner, that she is worth fighting for. Did you know that since October 7th, over 31,000 people have made Aliyah, have moved to Israel from more than 100 countries? Even while at war, is able and committed to embracing those seeking her shelter. She requires our appreciation and our support. So it's incumbent upon us, as we mark 1 year since October 7th, during our high holiday season of awe and introspection, where we recommit to being the best versions of ourselves, that we recommit. We recommit to living proudly as Jews, growing in our knowledge, practice, and joy, even when it feels uncomfortable. We recommit to making our voices heard in the offices of our elected leaders and in the halls of our capitals. We recommit to advocating for and educating about Israel and to Israel's founding principles. We recommit to expressing gratitude to those who are serving in the Israeli Defense Forces, both enlisted and reservists, who this past year have gone above and beyond, putting their lives on the line in defense of the country and the free world. We recommit to honor honoring the memories of those we lost this past year on the day itself and the battles that have followed. We recommit to visiting Israel, spending our tourist dollars there to help lift up the economy, connecting with the land and the people. There are a number of opportunities to volunteer in the months ahead. And Federation, you saw the video from our partnership region. There's a partnership region trip that you are all invited to be part of this coming January. I am personally going. Please come and join me. And we recommit to giving our time, talent, and treasure to lift up the Jewish people, and especially our Israeli family. This is Israel's longest and most dangerous war since the War of Independence in 1948. Rebuilding, restoring health and peace of mind will take years and will require our steadfast support. There are many different ways of supporting Israel when it comes to tzedakah, righteous giving. And I'm so proud that our community here in Nashville raised over $1 million for Israel in the immediate aftermath of October 7th. As Nashville's Jewish Community Central fundraising organization, or through other worthy organizations that speak to you, please give until it feels good, and then give more. Our family is in need, and we have the means to help. This is our generation's moment, and we will not take Israel or her people for granted. We're going to conclude our gathering this evening by singing Hatikva, Israel's national anthem, whose title literally means the hope. Od lo avda tikvatenu. Our hope is not yet lost. So as we are doing recommittings, if you will, in this new year of 5785, let us also recommit to hope. To the hope of a bright future. To the hope that the hostages will indeed come home. And to the hope of a lasting peace for us, for all of Israel, and for all of humanity.